Have you ever just had a day that was so devastating that you thought that you couldn't make it through the day? That's the kind of day that I had on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Ugh. So, the night before last, I couldn't sleep because I was going to have my breast imaging done early this morning at University of Texas Medical Branch. So my appointment time was 8:30. I didn't get out of there until 12:30. So I was there like 4 hours. First I had my tomosynthesis, which is 3D mammogram. Okay, let me start over. Okay. Hi, I'm Toya Brasky from Galveston, Texas. My Facebook page is Galveston Psychic Paranormal Researcher. Also, I have a X page and a personal Facebook page under Toya Brasky. Hi, I'm Toya Brasky from Galveston, Texas. My Facebook and X account is Galveston Psychic Paranormal Researcher. And I have a personal account under Toya Brasky on Facebook. Have you ever had a day that was so devastating that you thought, my God, I cannot make it through this day? That is how March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, was for me. Last night, I couldn't sleep because I had anxiety about going for my breast imaging this morning at University of Texas Medical Branch, where I had a tomosynthesis, which is 3D mammogram, and ultrasound. Now, I've already had an MRI that showed an MRI of the breast that showed that I had multiple masses in both breasts, and my mastectomy implants have ruptured. So I wanted to just jump into surgery, get the ruptured implants taken out, exchange the implants, put in new ones, do everything in one surgery. So because they, okay, let me start up. I'm Toya Brasky from Galveston, Texas. My Facebook and X account is Galveston Psychic Paranormal Researcher. I also have a Facebook page under Toya Brasky. Have you ever had a day that was just so devastating that you thought, I cannot make it through this day? That is how March the 17th has been for me today. I had such a terrible day that it's hard to even talk about it. First, the night before last, I couldn't sleep because I had so much anxiety about having my breast imaging on Monday, this March 17th. So I already knew that I have multiple masses in my breast from my breast MRI. But they sent me back for diagnostic 3D mammogram and for ultrasound. So my appointment was at 8:30. I ended up being there 4 hours so that they could scan my breast over and over again. So It started out with a 3D mammogram, and they took the usual, pictures in 3D, but then the radiologist kept requesting that more images were taken. So after that was finished, then I went over to ultrasound, and the ultrasound person was scanning my breast, and then that took several hours because there's so many masses in my breast that they had to really just keep going over it and over it. Plus, my breasts are very dense, meaning very, very thick. So when you have very dense breasts, it's very hard to see things like masses in the breast. So they have to just keep going over it and over it. So the tech did her usual thing, and then because of the things that she was finding in my breast, then the actual radiologist came in the room, and the radiologist started performing my ultrasound and kept going over my breast over and over, especially in the same area on the right side. So they were showing me one of the masses that just looked a little different than the other masses in the breast. And we're saying that for certain I will have to have biopsies. So they're going to schedule me to have that done. Plus, they recommended that I have another MRI, this time with contrast, because my last breast MRI was without contrast. So, all of this has been costing me money over this month alone. The co-pays have been like $1,500. Now, that's not a lot for somebody who has a lot of money, but I'm making half of what I used to make at my state of Texas job now that I'm working a different type of job. So $1,500 is a lot to come out of my check in 1 month. So, I don't know. I think by now my deductible has been met, but still sometimes even if you pay a deductible, then you still have co-pays for these major tests. So, I knew that they had found things in my breast that, I'm going to have multiple biopsies. So, I have concerns about that because during the biopsy, they put these titanium markers in the breast, which are shaped like little X's. And my concern about that is I don't want those little titanium X's migrating in my breast. So I've heard that there's different clinics that use a type of tattoo dye that goes into the mass. And to me, that sounds safer. But the clinic that I'm going to does not offer that. So I felt really frustrated during that visit. And also, I felt a little bit afraid because of the way that they kept going over my breast again and again and again. So I knew that after the 4 hours at the hospital, that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I have a appointment with a surgeon. So I thought, well, I'm going to drive to the grocery store and pick up something from their deli and try to eat in my car before I head out to League City, which is about 25 miles from where I live. And so I go in the grocery store and I get my hot food and I come back out to my SUV and I try to shift, turn on the ignition and try to shift my gear. My gear breaks where it completely slips. I can't put the car in any gear whatsoever. So I'm sitting there in the parking lot, broke down. I can't move my car. I have a doctor's appointment, a very important surgeon appointment at 3 o'clock. I had to call my brother and ask him, could he come help me? My brother was already busy doing something, but he dropped what he was doing and he came to help me. So we spent like an hour tinkering with the car out there, and eventually we had to drive it in reverse. I'm serious. Drive it in reverse because that's the only gear we could get it to go into. At least 8 blocks to get it back to my house. It was terrible. So remember I told you that I just got a purebred blue heeler puppy. Now I also have rat terriers. So I had been gone for 4 hours at the hospital having my test. I had separated the puppy from some of the rat terriers that are my male rat terriers, and I had put the puppy in the room with my female rat terriers. The reason why I did that is because my male rat terriers are aggressive. So I thought everything was fine. As soon as I came home from the hospital and I opened the front door, the puppy was dead. My rat terriers had killed it. I was so completely in shock, devastated, just heartbroken, because I really, really loved that puppy. That puppy was so sweet. I just brought it home literally like 24 hours ago. And then I was thinking, how do you continue to love your other pets, the ones that just murdered your puppy, that just killed it, that are instinctively a killer breed, like rat terriers are a killer breed? And I was thinking to myself, now they killed 2 of my cats in the past, but dogs will be dogs. So I was thinking, okay, I can understand my rat terriers killing a cat because that's just kind of nature. But I would never in my wildest dreams think that a rat terrier would kill another dog. So I was just in shock. And then because I still had the doctor's appointment that I couldn't miss because it takes like weeks or months to get an appointment, I told my brother, I said, the puppy's dead. Right now I can't do anything about it. I need you to drive me to the doctor's office. I just have to deal with that when I get home. So I get to the surgeon's office and I'm trying to be firm and quick about what are my expectations of the surgery and what are their expectations, because I want to be sure that we're on the same page. And I was telling her that really in my expectations, I'm thinking that I just want to have one surgery where they take out the cyst, or they take out the fibroids, or they take out the tumors, whatever's in my breast, because they said that there's multiple kinds of things in my breast. They take out the ruptured implants and they put new ones in, and I just have one surgery. And I was very adamant that I only want a scar underneath my breast. I do not want a mastectomy. I do not want any of the other patch quilt looking surgeries because they're very unattractive. And even if I did have cancer, I do not want a mastectomy. So I was thinking that is the surgeon's office that I went to today. And it's actually plastic surgery because I was thinking because of the nature of implants that, well, that's the type of doctor that I'll be seeing to have my surgery. But because I have so many masses, now they were telling me that I'm going to have to go to a different type of surgeon to remove the masses or to do the biopsies. So I felt so frustrated. I just felt like, my God, like, how long is this going to take? I want to get this over with. I want to just, like be done with this. So they tried to reassure me that before I can have the implants removed and replaced, that my breasts have to be in good health. So right now they are not, with all of the masses in it. So they need to do the biopsies, and if they are cysts, they can actually drain the cyst with needles, and that would be a good thing. And then as my breasts are in better condition, then they can do the implant exchange. But if they do a biopsy and they find cancer, that puts me at a delay to have the other type of implant exchange that I want to have. And under no circumstances will I agree to a mastectomy. So my day just felt like, my God, like, how much stress can a person take? So I knew that on the way home from the doctor's office, that when I got home, I'm going to have to go take care of the puppy's body and do what I need to do for that. So I did that. And then when I got back in the house, I felt so devastated for my day. I couldn't even talk to my other dogs. I felt like at that moment, like I just hated them. Like I love them, but in that moment, I hated them because I couldn't understand in my heart, how could they kill their own kind, like kill my puppy? I've had these dogs like 3 or 4 years. And I thought, why in the world would they do something like that? It was so devastating. And I actually felt like, you know what? I didn't even want them anymore after that, because this is like they've killed my cats. And like I said, dogs will be dogs. So that was something that I was like, well, you know what? I just won't ever be able to leave them alone with cats. But the fact that they killed another dog, that just leaves me to believe that these are killer dogs. They have something in their genes as a rat terrier that you cannot trust them to be left alone with a new animal. And I just learned that the hard way. There is nothing that I can do to bring that puppy back. What's done is done. And so I learned a very hard lesson today. It was devastating to me to lose that puppy. So I literally just locked myself in the living room, and I could not leave the living room. I didn't want to see my other dogs. I left them locked in the bedroom and in the kitchen away from me. And I just sat in the living room just thinking, my God, at what point does a person not break from the stress that they're under? I'm just, gosh, this is just so much stress at one time. Then, I'm working for a private security company, but they just sold out to another company. So we have another security company buying out our company. Now, that company did hire me, but there's just the stress of the changeover all of those things, everything at once. Then I'm up tonight. It's actually after midnight. I have another medical test in the morning, which is to scan my female organs because I have so many masses in my chest. There's a possibility that I could have other masses in my female reproductive organs, things like that. So tomorrow I'm having a pelvic ultrasound and also a transvaginal ultrasound where they actually put a wand into your vagina and then they look at your fallopian tubes, your uterus, all of those things. And so this whole month has been going back and forth to the doctor, back and forth to the hospital, being uncertain about how I'm going to handle my health conditions that I'm going through. I guess all I can do is take one day at a time. Right now, my car is still not running. I'm probably going to have to take it to a transmission place and pay thousands of dollars to fix whatever is wrong because it won't shift into gear. But my brother is going to send over a friend tomorrow that knows a little bit about auto mechanics, and we're going to have him look at it. But this is just too much. It's just too much. I'm sorry to drag y'all down like this, but I just had to vent. I just had to say that, I know there's days that we all go through things. We all have devastation. We all have days that are just not right, and this is one of them. So I had planned to do some St. Patrick's Day dress up photos, but literally I just couldn't get up today. I could not do anything today. I was just that devastated. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for being my fan and my Facebook friends. Bye.